You want to say anything to anybody?
Hello.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about is there's a lot of people out there saying, "What's wrong with Trump? Why doesn't he concede? Why doesn't he just give in? He's un-American. He's trying to become a tyrant." And the bottom line is if somebody is illegally trying to steal an election, I would say that is a version of treason.
Treason and sedition, or treason.
And what they call it is insurrection against our republic. Basically, you're breaking the rules.
Mhm.
And I'm sure they've been broken before because here's the funny thing is I know the United States likes to think of itself as the greatest nation in the world, but we can't even hold an election. We use like 15th
Mhm.
century voting techniques and wonder how it's not being pulled off in a timely or efficient or accurate manner.
It
We can
was
spend $2 million on a cruise missile,
right.
but we can't spend the money on technology to make sure that our voting is handled
It's
correctly.
true. It's true. We can nail you anywhere in the world with a pinpoint accurate weapon, but we can't cast a ballot.
Yep.
You know, the 2000 election showed that too. If you remember, Florida and Ohio, off the top of my head. Remember the chap stuff there?
The
You
Chad,
know,
the
the
Chads,
chat or whatever it's
hang,
called.
hang,
Yeah,
hanging
yeah.
Chads. Okay, save the republic. Trump may invoke the 14th Amendment to strip the Electoral College votes from states engaged in an illegal insurrection against our republic. I'll leave the link for this. This is the writer speaking, and the writer is Mike Adams. 2 months
Mhm.
ago, I detailed Trump's powers under the 14th Amendment, which grants the president the power to declare an illegal insurrection against the United States of America and strip electoral college
Excuse
votes
me.
from states which are engaged in a coordinated insurrection. The blatant brazen vote stuffing fraud now taking place in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania and other states reveals a pattern of criminal insurrection taking place via organized vote fraud. This is a form of criminal insurrection against the United States of America. Now, I was thinking about this. Whether you're a Trump supporter or you're not a Trump supporter,
Hmm.
hopefully you support the Constitution of the United States and
Hmm.
what this country stands for, or what we think it stands for. And
Hmm.
if you believe in fair elections, and all of a sudden 100,000 votes show up, and all 100,000 go for one candidate, I think that unless you're completely out to lunch, you have to think, okay, there's something fishy here.
Yeah, common sense. And then, if you want to even be more empirical, what are the odds or probability that if 100,000, like you said, so-called votes come in, they're all just for the one candidate? Really? What's the probability of that? Probably pretty small, to zero.
Well, Jim Willie has a doctorate in statistics, and I asked him that question earlier today. I said, Jim, what are the percentages that could happen? And he said, 0%. And I said, what about in Pennsylvania? They're reporting that 19 out of 20 of the mail in ballots are going for Biden. What are the chances of that? And he said, in a large enough sample size, zero. It's like being at a casino and seeing the roulette wheel go red like 50 times in a row. You know something's wrong because statistically it's just not possible. I mean, is it possible that all 100,000 people said Trump's got to go? No. I mean, no. I mean, for 100,000, no. If you talk 20, then yeah. If you got 20, if you pulled 20 out of that batch, you might find 20 that all of them would go with the same vote.
No,
But
no, no,
100,000?
absolutely, yeah. But if, to your point, if the once is the sample size, even common sense wise, gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you go from 20 ballots to 100 ballots to 1,000 to 5,000, 10,000, etc. I think it's an inverse relationship in terms of the odds of it all going for one candidate as the number sampling size gets bigger. It's
Well,
just
especially
right.
especially if you factor in that what do elections typically win by? 55 to 45, 51 to 49. Those are typically the elections.
Pretty
So we're
close.
not we're not talking 90 to 10 or 95 to 5. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think that it's Trump's constitutional duty to resist this fraud, or at least have it inspected to make sure that it's like anything. If somebody if there was an accident
Yeah, look, the bottom line is, to your point, Dave, and for anybody, whatever, looking in on this, if things are truly above board, um, then what are you worrying about? So, for example, supposedly with certain election places, like in Pennsylvania, for example, Detroit, Philadelphia in particular, and Detroit, they supposedly, when the Trump administration wanted observers to go in there and watch the ballot counting,
They were turned away.
they were turned away or told, yeah, you can observe from 80 to 100 feet away.
Right. Right.
Oh, yeah, that's effective. I'm 100 feet away. So then when some of these people were like 100 feet away, they pulled out binoculars, literally, is what I heard. And then, of course, to thwart that, the guys, running the counting got cute and took cardboard and paper and put it up on the windows. So much for the binocs. So bottom line is, you don't have to be a genius, okay? If everything is truly above board, then why are people got to be 80 feet away? And then why are you covering the windows? Real simple. If it's so above board, right? Is it supposed to be top secret? Is that our election process now? It's supposed to be classified as top secret?
Where's the chain of command? Right? Where's the chain of command?
That too.
See, the problem is, is if you put control into a few people's hands, and those few people are bought,
bias, yeah,
or they believe that they're doing their duty to get out this tyrant, whatever their rationale is, it's not legal. There are legal means to get rid of a politician. Term limits would be nice, and there is a term limit on president, but they could have defeated him in the election the valid way by going out and campaigning and convincing people to throw this guy out.
Yeah.
But I think it is very damning as well that, the problem with having these elections go to the next day is now the Democrats see they need 103,000 votes to
exactly.
get, and now all of a sudden they just happen to find 108,000 votes, all for Biden. What are the chances? Talk about a Hail Mary.
Well, apparently nobody exercises common sense, right? I mean, let's exercise common sense. And if you want to go to the next degree, let's bring in a bunch of statistical professors and do the math, crunch the math. What are the odds? I guarantee both will come up the same.
0.
Yeah, 0. Goose eggs.
Live long and prosper.